Okay, corporate tax in Hong Kong in 2024. So in the first few videos, we have covered how to open the company, how to bank, legal maintenance and company secretary. We discussed accounting and audit obligations. And here in this video, we'll be discussing taxation. So the tax rate in Hong Kong is 16.5%. That's the standard rate. And you're like, oh, but that's not what I heard. I saw it was 0 or 8.25. Yeah, wait a minute, we'll get into that. But the standard one is 16.5. The 8.25 was introduced in 2018. And basically what it is that on the first 2 million Hong Kong dollars profit, so not turnover, profit, it's pretty sweet. On your first $2 million profit, you will pay 8.25%. So what if you do 3 million? Well, on the first 2 million, you pay 8.25, and on the next million, you will pay 16.5%. Okay, so that's the way it works. This is not for startup or SME whatsoever. It's for everybody. Every limited company will get this benefit. And forever, unless they change the law, you will have this benefit. Okay, so just to compare, again, I gave a few comparisons with Singapore before because I'm being asked all the time, you know, Hong Kong, Singapore. So Singapore will have a corporate tax rate at 17%. They will have also some benefit for the SME. Sometimes they're even more aggressive than Hong Kong. However, it will be only for the first 3 years of existence of your company. Here is forever. So that's pretty sweet. Dividend tax, 0%. So as soon as you pay your corporate tax, you can get the money out of the company at 0%. VAT, GST, so in Hong Kong, we don't have VAT, we don't have GST. So this is the tax on value added. Okay, so we don't have that, or good and service tax. No, we don't have any of that. That's pretty nice. However, be careful that if you work with Europe, for example, you will need to get a VAT number in Europe to work with your European clients. So, and it's a bit complicated because now Europe has the OSS and a whole bunch of different complications with VAT. So if you work with Europe, let us know. We have partners that can help you with the VAT numbers, but you will need to pay VAT. Don't think that, oh, it's a good idea to open the company in Hong Kong because then I don't pay VAT in Europe. Well, it was the case in the past. Some people did that, but nowadays it's not the way it works anymore. Like Europe has identified the loophole already. So no VAT in Hong Kong, but if you work with VAT countries, you will have to pay the VAT there and get registered there. Offshore tax exemption. So as I mentioned at the beginning, you know, oh, I heard about the 0% tax. Well, the 0% tax does not really exist. We don't have a 0% tax. It's more like for companies that qualify, they can ask for the offshore tax exemption and they don't pay tax in Hong Kong. So you're like, oh, but that means it's 0%, right? Well, yeah, they don't pay tax, but it's not a rate at 0. It's more like you don't pay here because maybe you pay somewhere else, or, you know. So I will cover the offshore tax in the next video. But yeah, it's possible to claim the offshore tax exemption in Hong Kong and therefore pay no tax here. That's why we have a lot of Dubai companies at the moment that are flocking to the city because Dubai just introduced a 9% tax rate. And then some companies are thinking, well, you know what, I don't want to pay that much, so I'm coming to Hong Kong and claiming the exemption. That's what's happening at the moment in Hong Kong in like Jan 2024. Okay, now I mentioned the 18 months period before the opening of your company and your first tax return in the last video. So how it works? Well, the reason why you have those 18 months is because it leaves you the time to choose your fiscal year. So in Hong Kong, the fiscal year is from April to March. Okay, 1st of April to 31st of March. Okay, and this is the way it works for individuals, and it could be the way it works for your company, but it doesn't have to be. Okay, so if you are an individual, an employee working in Hong Kong, you know, you will have to declare your tax from 1st of April to 31st of March. But for the company, Hong Kong lets you choose your fiscal year. So you could choose a calendar fiscal year, January to December. Let's say you work with a European country where you have two companies, one is in Europe, and you close the account in December, and you think, you know what, I want the same thing in Hong Kong, so I would like to close my account in December as well. Well, you can do it. Another one is to work with the Hong Kong fiscal year, April to March. Another one will be a mid-year. This is a really smart one because the accountant tend to be less busy, accountant and auditor. So if you do your accounting, for example, from July to June, that will be a pretty interesting idea because at that moment the accountant tend to be less busy. This is really famous for the Amazon e-sellers, for example, because the e-sellers tend to have spike in December. So it's not really a good idea to close your account on a spike of sales. So generally it's nice to let 6 months pass, after the spike, to be able to reorganize yourself. And then you're not overly busy during July, June, so it's a good time to close your account. And then another one that is also pretty popular will be the school year. So for example, if you run a learning center or something like that, and you want to be following the same year as school year, you could do September to August. This is the most common one. But if you want, you could totally have an account that is closed on the 6th of March, if you want, or 21st of August. It's weird, but why not? So it's totally possible. Yeah. So that's the way it works. So why 18 months then? So let's say, imagine you open your company in October 2024, and then you're like, okay, and you want to close your account in December. Well, you won't close them in December 2024. That's just 2 months. That's really short. So what the Hong Kong government lets you do is to make a first long year. So the first year will go from October 2024 to 31st of December 2025. So you will have 14, 15 months, something like that. Okay, so that's basically how it works for the fiscal year.